I'm Julianne Zimmerman. I'm an alumna, class of '88, 16 and 21. That's Aero, Astro, and Literature. Why Aero, Astro, and Literature? I also wanted to be an astronaut. I thought that's how you became an astronaut, was you come to MIT and study Aero, Astro. Why literature? Well, because when I came here at the ripe old age of 16, I had the hubris to say, I want an education, not just a trade certificate. And that ran me straight into the buzzsaw of my first ever bad experience with a male person in power who was my advisor, who said, you clearly don't belong here. And every single registration day, my interview with him was, you don't belong here. You need to leave and vacate the position for someone who deserves it. To which I said, are you signing my registration card or not? And he said, get the hell out of my office, with pleasure. That was what passed for undergraduate advising. So I talk to students who are here now. I believe, and I hope that it's true, that it's much, much better now. But the assignment I got was, what light can you shed on your professional or personal efforts and how they've helped overcome obstacles for yourself and others? So I want to tell you, when I shared this with my mom, she said, wow, that sounds like fun. How many people are going to be giving this talk? I said, oh, I think 6 or 7. Oh, great. So let's see, that's about 45 minutes of me. Wow. I'm glad I'm not going to be there. So I'm going to try not to do that to you. I will confess that even though I started off with that really unacceptable experience, and by the way, the other women advised by that faculty member had the same experience, and so did the people of color who were advised by that faculty member. Nevertheless, I failed to understand that as a systemic thing for many years. I took that as, wow, he's an asshole. And I wrote him off, right? It took me some years to begin to catch the trend. And really the thing that brought it home for me was several years into my career, about 15 years ago, I got a call from the then publisher of the Boston Business Journal. And I knew him well, and he called me up and he said, listen, we're starting a new recognition program for women in this particular field, and I know you must know who are the most amazing women advancing this particular field. And I was mortified because I could not come up with more than 1 or 2 names. And not only that, but I didn't even know them. And that really knocked me back. And from that point, I really started to make a much more concerted effort to expand my network intentionally, as Katie said, to make the effort to reach out, to meet more women, to meet more people of color, to find ways to engage. And so along the way, I've been a mentor with MIT VMS Venture Mentoring Service, which I highly recommend. It's an awesome service, extremely valuable, costs you 0. What divided by 0? What does that get you? Infinite value. So I highly recommend it. I've been a judge for the MIT 100K and for other competitions. I teach innovative social enterprises at Tufts University. I spend, frankly, an irresponsible amount of time on pro bono activity. I was co-chair of the MIT Enterprise Forum's Innovation Series for several years. My co-chair was also a woman. We went out of our way to build a gender-balanced planning committee and to really design events to engage the whole of the community. But that is really an ongoing process. What I'd like to ask you to do is much more related to what I do now. So I'm currently managing director of Reinventure Capital. This is a fund here in the Boston area which we are raising presently to invest in expansion stage companies led by people of color and women. So for those of you who may not be familiar with the statistics, they're grim. 90%, give or take, of all venture capital goes to straight, white, US-born men from about a dozen universities, this one included, in 4 cities, with an ever smaller number of business models. What does that mean? That means the overwhelming majority of businesses are starved for capital. Many of them are led by amazing women. Many of them are led by incredible people of color, starved of capital. So let me just ask you to do a little exercise to make this personal. Just close your eyes for a second. Nothing bad's going to happen. Picture a successful entrepreneur. Open your eyes. Who thought of Robin Chase? Who thought of Sheila Marcelo? Who thought of Tristan Walker? Jill Becker. You get my point. We are, all of us in this room, stuck with the same bad mythology that is perpetuating these problems. So let me first tell you, this is everywhere. It's not just here. It's everywhere you go. You have had horrible experiences. I know you have without even asking you. Because I'm a judge and a mentor and a investor and a lecturer and all these other things, people come to me and they just say, listen, this just happened to me. What do I do? Right? So I get these stories all the time, and in addition to my own experience. It's not you. You are, because of what you're doing, you are exciting the antipathy of the status quo. Don't take it personally, please. Don't take it personally. It's not about you, really. And at the same time, I have to tell you that if those of us, as you already heard, who have the power to change the status quo don't do so, it won't. Right? So it's all about you. Here's what I'm asking you to do. Expand your network. Please. Make the effort. Go meet people. Go to events you wouldn't normally go to. Go to discussion groups you wouldn't normally go to. Make the effort to go meet people who are not part of your inner circle. Please. That is how we will change things. And if I can be helpful to you in any way at all, and there's no guarantee that I can, by the way, but if I can, find me. I'm easy to find. Thank you. Have a great day.